Hello. Oh.
Hey.
It was
Sorry.
me all along.
Respectfully, take your shirt off.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. So to start, I wanted to start with you, David and Nick, because one of my favorite things about this movie is the original Superman movie is Christopher Reeve took it so seriously, and I loved it, but Gene Hackman had the time of his life. And in this, it's a little bit more balance of you guys both having a lot of fun. So what was it like getting to play Lex and Clark, where they have a little bit more fun with each other and say things like, your obsession with me is getting a little weird?
Sorry, were you having fun that whole time?
I was having the best time because I was getting to do scenes with you, and you were brilliant in them. So it's really fun when you're getting to do scenes with when you're watching, because you know you're in the scene as the character, but you're also kind of witnessing another performance at the same time. And when the people you're acting with are doing a brilliant job, and watching David in this character was amazing because you know he made me feel like a kid again watching Superman, which is just epic, and getting to be in that environment, seeing that, but also like the humanity he brings to the character, the empathy, the humor, it's a dynamic performance, and Superman's a difficult character to play, and he completely embodied it in such a wonderful way. It was great to be there. I was having a really fun time. Were you having fun?
Yeah. So all the stuff we shot together first was a part of the movie where Lex really has the upper hand over Superman. And so I got to sort of sit back and watch Nick work quite a lot. But I was really looking...
lay on the floor doing nothing. Days.
But so I was really looking forward to the first scene that we had where we could sort of go toe to toe, which is that scene in the office. That was the first scene we shot where I felt like we were on equal footing, and you know. And for the life of me, I could not, in the scenes, get the upper hand. I had been looking forward to this the whole time of like, finally I'll have the power. And Nick was so good at always just, the way he delivered a line would always just beat me just a little bit, in the scene obviously. But,
Physically abused you.
but it's one of the great things about feeling close and friendly with your scene partner is that in those moments where your scene partner one-ups you or calls you on something or counters a move that you've come up with, there's both disappointment and this wonderful appreciation of like, damn it, you got me, well done. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. And I did, yeah. That's the end of that sentence.
Well, Rachel, I wanted to ask, you know, Lois has for a lot of years been a beacon for people in journalism or even just like loud girls. And I love her for it. And so I wanted to ask you, has, you know, that interview scene is so good, but it also was like, yeah, that's what we do when we're like doing junkets and having to figure out questions and trying to be original. Mm-hmm. Has it given you a different appreciation for like doing this press run and doing the junkets and seeing kind of how the other side of it works?
Oh, definitely. And I'm such a research dork. My favorite part of prepping any project is the part where you get to be alone, sort of reading interesting articles about worlds that you don't understand. Had the opportunity to talk with a handful of investigative journalists and learn quite a lot about that world. And I think the thing that I was really struck by, and I love that you say loud girl because it's so true, she's always been a loud girl. You know, of course, I think so many people who enter this profession are interested in making an impact in some way, whether it's in the investigative journalism space, in the entertainment space, you know, it's all important. But I was also really struck by the sort of deep hunger and attraction to the version of Lois that I've always known, who chucks herself into the middle of the action. That there's like at least a handful of the investigative journalists I spoke to are total adrenaline junkies. And I found that really inspiring and really fun to play. And I think it just comes out in full force in that scene. And it was really, really fun.
And very frustrating for me as a scene partner because another scene where I couldn't fucking win.
Just lose left, right, and center. Well, and I want to ask all of you because I grew up in the Smallville era. I'm a '90s kid, and so that was like my kind of Superman for a really long time. But that theme song to me is like every time I think about Superman, I just want to start singing Remy Zero. But that is also a thing with Superman. There's so many songs about him and like what we love about Superman. Did you guys have songs that you were like, you know what, like, yeah, I will listen to the Superman song going into set every day and just like get hype about being in a Superman movie?
For me, it's the John Williams. I once, in one of the first interviews I ever did in a press junket, I was asked what superpower I would have if I could choose one. And I think I said flying, but the real answer, which I said, was to be followed around by John Williams music for the rest of my life.
And now it's happening.
And now
it's crazy.
Will for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and like you couldn't ask for better. Anyone else?
Did you have a hype song?
I listened to a lot of Bikini Kill for Lois in my trailer.
No notes.
Yeah, a lot of punk rock in the trailer in Atlanta.
I was lucky. James sent me a bit of the score, kind of an early working version of the song that plays towards the end of the movie. That was called like Lex's theme at the end there, and so I got to listen to that a lot before going to Atlanta to start filming, but also during that scene. James had loudspeakers set up and would play it on the set, and it was weird because I'd listened to that song so much and thought about it and had such an experience with it at home. It was interesting to then be on set listening to it in that moment, doing those scenes, because it brought back and created all these emotions in a really great way.
Yeah, well, I love this movie. I had a dumb question I didn't get to, and that's okay.
Well, ask it quick.
Ask
quick,
it.
quick.
You know Twisters really well. Do you think your Superman could have saved Kevin Costner's Jonathan Kent in the
I don't know. I'd like to think, my character in Twisters didn't get a really final ending, but I'd like to think that when he gets dropped by the side of the road and mud splattered on him, Superman comes in and is just like, hey, buddy, it's okay. Like, you need to be a little nicer, but
Eyes
you'll
up
be
here.
okay.
That's beautiful. Yeah, Eyes Up Here, beautiful. Well, I love this movie a lot. It means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much for
Thank
making
you.
a perfect movie.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated.
Killer shirt.
Thank you.